Hello, my name is George Flaherty. I work with a company called the Healthcare Training Company. I'm here today to talk to you about me, which might be scary for some of you. While I'm at it, if you look down below, there's a like button if you're on YouTube. If you could click that, I can't say that you'll get anything special, but only my gratitude. You can also visit the website, which is www.thctc.co.uk. Alright, just a brief bit about myself. I got into working with older people about 20 years ago, and to be quite honest, I stumbled into care homes in the last recession because I was working as an exercise instructor and there wasn't much work. So I wandered in because I had to pay the bills and pay the mortgage. Luckily enough, years before that, my mother had worked as a sort of home help with older people. Inevitably, I'd got dragged around with her. And I spent a lot of my sort of younger years, when I was 7 or 8, 9 or 10, in and around older people. So surprisingly, I seem to get on with older people very, very well. I tend not to see the older and just see the person underneath it all. A joke I always say to many of the ladies that I work with is that when you reach 100, you will find me irresistible. Unfortunately, I have no attraction for any women underneath 100. Any woman over 100, I'm like catnip to you, I guarantee. So, part of my initial work was doing seated exercise. And from that I went into doing community-based programs, doing stroke, Parkinson's, working with cardiac patients, working with elderly fallers, and I say I cut my teeth in the residential sector because all those conditions were there. All those conditions didn't arrive in one batch, they normally arrived in 2s and 3s. Arthritis was really common, diabetes was really common, and dementia. But at the time I really didn't understand what dementia was. It's only later that I discovered how important it was to have a reasonable understanding of dementia and the working process in how to work with dementia when you're working in care settings. As all you guys probably know, even though many people are not diagnosed, there is a lot of dementia around residents with care in residential homes, in nursing homes, in day centres, in sheltered housing units. And I'd also say sometimes I wonder if there's some dementia with some of the people that work there. We all get a bit confused. So, what I'm going to try and do over the next few blogs as we go through is explore some of the different types of activities that you can do with older people. And one of the common questions that I get is how do you motivate people to do the activities? I'll give you a very simple answer. It's in a way of a story, but it has a reason for me telling it to you. A few years ago I had to do an exam in the fitness industry, and as a general rule of thumb they expect you to bring a guinea pig with you. If you don't bring a guinea pig, you don't sit the exam, you forfeit it, and then you have to pay to resit. And despite my interest in physical activity and exercise, I have a brother who has no interest at all, and he was the only person that was available to attend on that day. So I had to bring my non-exercising, beer-swilling, kebab-eating brother along to sit an exam for exercise. Needless to say, the guinea pigs were used recurrently over the day. They were pulled out, come in and do 20-30 minute sessions and then back into the pool again. When it came my time to actually do the exercise, my practical session, I went looking for my brother and I couldn't find him anywhere. And I was looking all around the site for him, and one of the guys that was actually on the course with me turned around and said, your brother's upstairs. He's on the exercise bike. Well, apart from nearly having to drag me out, from shock that my brother was actually exercising of his own free will, I run upstairs, and when I came up to the top there was an exercise bike with a video game on it, and the video game was of a racing car, and the faster you pedal the faster the racing car went, and there was my brother pedaling like crazy. And what that actually taught me is if you find the right motivation for people, you can get them to do practically anything. And that carries across to activities, because the old model of activities was actually to go out, sit 25 people down in a room and do arts and crafts to them. And I do mean to them, not with them. And when we talk about activities now, well, it's one of the last bastions of something called batch care. And if you guys have done your safeguarding courses, I don't know if you remember, but batch care is a form of institutional abuse. It's where we treat everybody the same. We give them all the same haircuts, we shower them at the same time, we toilet them at the same time. It's the old way of caring that came from the institutions in the UK from the 50s, 60s and 70s. And what we got to remember is in care homes, the only common thing about the people there is that they're actually in that home. Other than that, they're all complete individuals. So that actually means in reality that we need to find out what the individual firstly wants to do, and secondly is able to do. And we'll talk a little bit more about that on my next vlog. Bye bye.